Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Motorsport Manager. From the Ashes Challenge, this is the second attempt, and it's starting to turn sour on us a little bit later than the last one did. Got 5 races left, one more in Vancouver, and it's really hard to see a path for us to winning this challenge if we don't beat Scuderia Rossini in this one. Lost narrowly in the last race, one that we needed to win, so we really need this one. Got to find a way, or it's going to get tough. Now, I'm going to keep going with the challenge until we are even or behind. And I did have one more idea, which I'll get to, and how to improve things. I don't care about the marketability. I'm not going to compare my drivers at this point. And Derek Chapman isn't liked by his mechanics. Don't care. Okay, car repairs. So we're doing the suspension, rear wing, and engine this time. Those are the crucial ones, and we're hoping for rain in Vancouver. I think that's the same parts, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. In a different order, but the same parts. And the fact that the suspension is the top one actually hurts us. But the speed is not as important. Okay. Speed is only useful, so let's take that off. Let's just go with the engine, or the rear wing rather, and the suspension. So let's see what our mail has to say. 44 laps, over 3 miles, so pretty long race. That'll put some pressure on us during practice. 40% chance of rain. Ultra super soft and soft. Interesting. And yeah, the suspension's the top part, which doesn't hurt us. And they want our better gearbox. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Still 5th. Looks like it's maybe gone up a little bit, though. And still holding on to the rear wing in 1st. And they say Scuderia Rossini to do well. Lippinen not feeling the pressure of being the man to catch. Well, he's going to be caught. And Lucia Flores not happy with their season. So here we are again. Yeah, I feel that's gotten a bit closer. We're still 5th. But you can see that Steinman has actually overtaken them in terms of suspension. We stayed 1st there. So we did eke out small improvements there. Now, on the other hand, our engine has fallen below Steinman and Scuderia Rossini, but if these parts are more important, I'll take that trade. Okay, so 16 degrees. It's going to be really close. It's either going to be super soft or soft territory. I'm going to go 654 here. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to split it 5 across the board. Because we're going to need ultras for qualifying. We could need either one of these. Now, if it is rainy, and we do need inters, we're not going to have any feedback from them in practice. I'm going to err on the side of the super softs, on the side of the faster tire. And it's a high fuel burn track also. 6th and 7th, I don't like that. And look at that. It's raining for practice. Shows what the forecasters know. Alright, we're going to start off on inters. Now, the thing that I'm going to change is I'm going to hit the weight stripping a little harder on Oliveira. Her car is, like, Lipinen has been right where we normally are, where we sometimes get part warnings towards the end of the race. I think that I can take off another 5 or 10% off Oliveira, so I'm going to try 5 on this one. And even if it doesn't do any good for this race, it's going to be very useful in if we do have to restart again. It'll give me that sense of whether that's going to be a good idea. Do that from the beginning, Oliveira can get slightly better results, and so on. So we're okay with a 70% or a 50% gap on the non-crucials, and 85%. So 450 compared to 360, really hitting the weight stripping hard. Both drivers seeing the need for the inters, so I don't have to convince them of that. Lipinen looking fairly good today. Let's check in with Modi. As usual, he wants a somewhat different setup here. So let's get both of them out on the qualifying to start. Just a short first stint. And let's refamiliarize ourselves with the track at Vancouver. It's pretty thin, sort of down and back track. Now, pretty much everybody going out on inters here, so that's going to keep them all in the same general ballpark on readiness for that. And Modi says, you know what, we need more speed. You're the one who recommended a focus on acceleration. Do you see your own green bars there? Yeah, and he's definitely need to go back out on the inters. Probably both drivers will. Until it dries out. And we may not get much of a handle on the ultras for qualifying. We could be weak in qualifying here for that reason. Because I want to focus on the supers for the race. Yeah, that's a pretty dreadful start. 61%. Switch to race trim. You don't like the downforce. Could go either way, but I'm going to go with high. just as a speed thing. Generally faster tracks like that. Let's do that a tick under 17 and 27. Yeah. Let's go understeer. And wants more speed. So that should be close. Of course, we're going to have a really long change here. And Lipinen's going to want more downforce. Came in with a pretty unimpressive time, but at least compared to Chapman, as the others come in, we're still staying reasonably high up. And, of course, track conditions rapidly changing. We're at the early before we dial the car in. There's all kinds of things messing around with that. You can see the track record, 124. Wants downforce change and wants more understeer. %, not a whole lot better. Yeah, and I'm going to try that, basically that same setting. That looks about right, or maybe a little more. Yeah, I don't mind trying it out there. Okay. Now I just sort of want to let them run on this. Definitely want both drivers. Oh, good to know that. Improved aero for Modi. Both drivers to get as far as they can on the inters and race trim while they're at it during the rain. Given the weather and the length of this track, I'm really wanting to max out the inners as much as I can and then switch to super softs, and everything else is gravy. And there's level 2. So can we get, I think we can get to level 3. Then if we switch over right then to super softs, maybe get some work on ultras at the end. Even though it may still be a bit wet, it's already drying out. The rain has stopped. I think that's going to be a real strong approach to this practice session. If I can get race trim high enough by then, I can split them so that one driver is working on super softs race and the other on super softs qualifying. If we look at how close we're getting, I think we're going to be able to do that. That'll be even nicer. So nothing but positive comments. And I think this is going to be our last trip. Definitely will be for Modi. Yeah, we're going to make it. We're going to bring them both in, switch off the inners, because we're going to max them out. Without a great deal of time to spare either, it really seems to be fitting pretty well. The timing of things so far in this attempt. So Modi will stay on race trim. Big improvement there, obviously. We want to get the downforce better, but 94% is close. So it went from very poor to good, and I'm going to guess you want it higher. Let's go up to 17.5. Not sure what I'm going to want to do with these. Let's get the downforce nailed in and then correct those. Stay on race trim. Yep, and it's plenty damp enough. Switch to super softs. Lipinen, you need to get your speed better. But you're up to 90%. Happy with the other two categories. We went from good to okay, so you want more acceleration. Let's try that. Qualifying on the super softs for you. Okay. We got half a practice left. And if I feel real good about our chances of knocking out the super softs and then maybe getting one level of ultras. Take whatever we can get because qualifying will be on ultras. And see, there's Chapman working on them. But ultras will burn up fast during the race, so we won't use them for that long. So far, so good. You can see the temperature on the super softs dipping slightly. It's actually going to be a bit cooler on race day. So these are the right tires. We definitely didn't want to go to softs. But supers have a lot more endurance than ultras. So I like the idea of focusing on the supers with the idea of not stopping a lot. Because ultras, you just have to be constantly in and out. So I think I hit the tires right. And now we're at level 2 qualifying. See, a lot of cars, including Wexler, is on softs and Saarinen on ultras. I think supers are going to be better for this. So hopefully that's going to give us an advantage in the race in a couple days. We'll take every edge we can get as Chapman lowers his best time to under 122. Super Softs level 2. Now Modi is going to come in because this is going to be his last lap for the race trim. I think I'm going to have him switch on to ultras because I think that we can finish up the super softs with Lipinen. Yeah. Super softs aren't going to be that far off from qualifying. So we're going to want to stick with that and then just switch to ultra tires. Hmm. 97%. So let's get that switch done, and then let's take a look at our setup here. So, very poor, good, and great. Maybe just even a tad more downforce. Poor, excellent, great. So we want a tad more understeer, and maybe a tad more top speed. Just tweak it that little bit so I'm right at the end. And maybe there. That should still be excellent and get that back in the excellent range perhaps. Let's see if that works for us. Lipinen looks to be all set. Excellence across the board. What's our percent? 99. We're going to take it. Qualifying super softs. 2 laps just to make sure we've got enough. Get back out there. Right now 4th, and only Chapman significantly faster. Very nice form today for Lipinen, which is nice. If he could have a strong weekend, that would really, really help us. And of course, driver form is one of the uncontrollables. You just take what you get. Looks like Lipinen's going to get there on the super softs in the qualifying. It would feel really stupid if he does. I don't know if we're going to get anywhere on the ultras. I just don't know if there's time. Good. Although we know you're locked in on your setup. We're not worried about that. And there's our qualifying trim. Yep, and I don't think we're going to get anywhere on the ultras. So, qualifying is probably not... We're going to be a little weak there. Although the others might be too, so... How that shakes out remains to be seen. Doesn't look like any rain for qualifying, at least not right away. We're not going to use the super softs, but we'll throw them on there. And we're still not there on the setup for Oliveira. That much is clear. Okay, so you're going to stay with that. Speed balance is a little high. Okay, so looking at handling first. Poor, excellent, great, and great. Okay, so I didn't boost it up. I need the understeer higher, and I didn't do that. Excellent, excellent, okay. So if I do that, that's going to be right. And then I just need... I think that's going to be the right answer, to just get that extra percent or two out. See if it works. Now I think... No, didn't want to lose time. I think this is the kind of track where we want to try to get 3 sessions in by just cramming them in. In terms of the track length, I think that's about where we're going to be. Because it's pushing 1.5 minutes. 7.9 and 6.5. I mean, that's quite strong for the driver form. I'm liking the signs so far. Things can change. They tend to ebb and flow on race day, but I'm liking the signs in terms of our driver performance. We need a big weekend, and we just might get one. Dropping a little bit now. And Lipinen will set the pace. Chapman goes 0.3 faster. That's not impressive. Chapman did go on ultras in practice, though. We didn't. So there is that. I would expect Chapman to beat us. Okay, 121, almost on the dot. So I think we'll be looking at qualifying times around 120. That's closer to that. We pretty much just marked down Chapman based on his performance in practice as beating us. And Oliveira with a faster time than Lipinen. Really want to remember to watch Oliveira's, because we squeezed more out of her reliability. Watch her car parts and see if towards the end of the race if we squeeze too much or we can squeeze even more or whatever. I think we're still about in line to try for 3 here. The weather's going to cooperate. So just in and right back out. Sixth and 8th, or now 6th and 9th, not inspiring after the first set. I did think we're going to be weak on qualifying. If we can get up closer to the top of the field, obviously that's going to be better. 6.9 and 7.7 right now. We're looking very good on driver form. So let's see if we can coax any more speed at all out of these vehicles. Now 7.1 and 7.8. This could be a strong lap for us. And as always, the end of the qualifying session, when it's good weather, it's going to be faster, going to be more important. And Wexler ahead of Chapman. That's not good for us. Lipinen closer, did faster though, closer to Wexler's time than we were to Chapman's at the beginning. It was 0.3 seconds. We're not going to catch him, but I just don't want to be too far behind. I'd like to be within half a second. It wasn't a bad second sector at all. Moving up to second place, ahead of Chapman's first time. The track is better, but that's really impressive work by Aki Lipinen. On the other hand, Oliveira got off to a bad start. So her time was her best. It just wasn't, it didn't show any improvement, or enough improvement to keep even pace with the rest of the field. Alright, time to see if we can get back out there for a third lap. No question Lipinen does. Oliveira is the question mark. She's going to make it too, I think. I think we're going to hit a third attempt here, and actually could afford to wait a hair. See, 124. Yeah, let's wait till about 2:15. Yeah, I think that's going to be about right. We'll wait for 2:15. Second and 7th. I'll call it 2:20 just to be safe. So, I mean, it looks like Lipinen has at least a reasonably competitive time here as the track's getting faster, but not that much faster. I'm more concerned about Oliveira. We'll go out just a hair earlier with her. 7.9. So her form continues to rise. Let's make some use of that. Let's run a strong lap here, Anna. Get up closer to the top of the field. Make your job a little bit easier tomorrow. Yep, and if anything, we went out a bit early. Because we've got plenty of time here. But the track isn't going to get much better. So Lipinen first. And didn't hit the spot on that one. Almost a tenth slower than his first segment in the last. And this was almost as good, but not as good for the second sector. So, Lipinen, you're going to have to just hang your hat on that other session. But Oliveira got her fastest first sector and her fastest second. So she's not going to be as fast as Lipinen, but she's showing signs of improving her placement. Moving up past Saarinen there could prove to be important. And she's not happy with it. She's over a second off, but does finish above Saarinen. So, again, we're trying to sandwich ourselves between Wexler and Saarinen. Both of our drivers weaker than Wexler, but not as good or better than Nilo Saarinen. So, if we keep him out of the winner's circle, that'd be really nice. Wexler, that is. Okay, we do have rain for the race. Yippee for that. Let's see what we're looking at. Sector, and then we might want to have wets. But yeah, we're definitely going to want to start on inners. So we're going to go, I mean, that's enough rain that we're going with the inners. And I wonder, the other drivers probably have maxed out theirs as well. So timing this out is going to be so key. Let's see, 44 laps. It's a high fuel burn track. Might be able to get away with losing 4, but I'm going to lose 3 laps of fuel here for Lipinen. And I want to take a look at the tires. The inters, okay, they say 18 to 20. Got a 44 lap race. Looks like we're going to want to... It looks like we're going to want to do a couple stints and be pretty conservative about it. The question is, because we're going to come in and pit like no later than lap 15 or 16. And for that second set, I mean, there's going to be about equal parts inters and wets. I think I'm going to want to stick with inters the whole way through. And I want to drive pretty conservatively on them to make sure we get through all of it. Quite conservatively. Actually, it's a high tire wear track. Yeah. I'm not going to push the tires at all, even at the beginning of the race. I want to make sure we can get the tires through that. Now, that's going to hurt our start. But I'm just going to live with that. Okay, so... Hold on. Doggone it, go back down to neutral. I said that, and I didn't change my tires. Oh, Lippinen, you idiot! Oh my goodness. On the first turn. Oh, I cannot even describe how much we did not need that. That's what you get for having your stupid affair. Second, all the way down to the back of the field. Oliveira getting passed by Sarnin, who I'm sure is driving more aggressively. Ugh. That is just crap luck, and that could that's going to devastate us. Boy, we can't go neutral on these tires, though. The temperature is just diving. Gonna have to go push, and that means... Shoot, that means we're also gonna have... We might have to go with a two-stop strategy for the inters here. I didn't think about the temperature. So if we have to get to about lap 33 on the inters. So if we stopped at 11 and then like 20 or something, then probably switch to wets for that section. I think that's going to be best. Let's see how long we get on these. And I'm still frying the engines when I don't need to be. So 389 for Lippinen's fuel. We're just going to check the per lap gain in that. Gradually moving up through the field, now 16th. (6.8) and 7.5. We can be grateful for high driver form. And I can't afford to push the engine with Lippinen, but I can keep the tires on push. That's about the best I can do for him here. And he's having a trouble right now with Samuel Blanc. And losing time because of it. Yeah, it's 0.1 again. It seems to be 0.1 always that we're going to gain. So he's going to be right on where he needs to be with fuel. It was the right call to go with 3 laps, or 3 laps of fuel, not 4. There's the pass up to 15th. On the other hand, Surkoff in the lead and Sharp behind, Wexler 3rd, Saarinen 6th. So right now they would beat us, but they're not getting a huge amount of points. If we can move up through the field later on, as we often do, and of course Oliveira Saarinen right now, a key battle. She's got to eventually get by him. There we go, that could be it. Nope. And I think that's one of it's a slow turn. It's one of those where the front wing issue coming to play. There we go. Saarinen down to 8th. Beautiful. Now what would that cut it down to? Okay, it's down to an 11-point gap. If I can keep moving Oliveira up, or at least keep her there, and keep moving Lipponen up, gradually start getting some points out of him, that would be really nice. We've really got to nail this pit stop strategy. Drive better? It's about all I have. Nice to have Schmidt in between Saarinen, because now Saarinen's struggling to try to make that pass, and as long as that holds, Oliveira can, there it goes, but Oliveira's now a second up on him. So we're going to want to go a little bit further in this first segment. Not sure what's going to happen here, but Lipponen is up to 14th now. Gets by North. And just because of traffic, Lipponen, you know, probably wants to keep burning the tires and then maybe pit a little bit sooner, just because we're in traffic anyway. Whereas that's not so much an issue for Oliveira. And yeah, look, wow, Schmidt and Saarinen quite a bit back. So you know what, let's drop to neutral on your tires. And Lipponen gets by Flores, up to 13th, gradually crawling his way up through the field. Twelfth is Gonzalez, 11th Vidal, and then it starts spreading out. He's going to have time to make up all race because of this nonsense. There we go, inside there. And up to 12th. Because Oliveira is pretty much staying a second behind Holtz, and the other drivers are definitely faster. So maybe we get Holtz, but that's going to be about it. The funny thing is Lipponen's going to start getting clear of traffic here right when I need to bring him in. And by funny, I mean unfortunate. So if we get by Vidal, I want to drop... Come on. Nope. got stuck on the outside of that turn, which has been the best place for us to get by so far. Could not find a way to squeeze through there. Getting stuck on the bumper, having trouble getting by. Will we make it this lap? Nope. And Lippinen's going to come in. Whew. Probably want to push this set of inters pretty hard. Now Moreno and Woodford have come in, so the early returns are coming. Lippinen down to decent. Oliveira driving pretty excellent. But we're going to have to somehow drag Lippinen up to the rest of the field, or this is going to be a disaster. Lippinen 15th and getting pressure from Lundqvist. Looks like we're going to lose that spot. Now it's 16th. Or definitely want to go aggressive on the tires to not be sitting behind people. Oliveira, it's time for you. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to take this in 3 sets. I think we want to do an aggressive second set here. As Oliveira comes out in 10th. Lippinen 16th. 15th now as Vidal goes in. Oliveira up to 9th, past North. And all the cars ahead have bad tires, so we need to get through them. Worn tires, I should say. Look at that, 8.7. Get through Gonzalez. Goodness, there's 10 seconds ahead of Gonzalez. Get through. Going around Holtz, who is out on wet tires. Why? With, I might add, a mechanical problem. North out on wet tires. We're not going to want them for a while. We want to aggressively hit these tires. Then come in for wets. Switch straight directly from wets to dries. I think that's what we want to do with this. And if we come in and around lap 31 or so, well, there's still a little bit of water on the track. Lippinen still behind Lundqvist. But you can see, I mean, it's really going to depend on what these other drivers try to do. They're really trying to run them low and maybe only do one wet pit stop. That's what it looks like to me. There goes Surikov. What's Surikov going to pick? What's Chapman going to pick? What's Wexler going to pick? Looks like they're all going wets. And with the amount of water out there now, Oliveira has the faster vehicle. And Oliveira now third, just behind Surikov and Sharp. She's going to take the lead. Now she's going to give it up when she pits in a few laps. The other cars on wet tires are not going to be able to hold her. So we'll see. And it might have been better to run the inters low, really low, and just go with a two stop. We'll see. I just don't think it is. I don't think it's wise to be on wets for that long when it's not the optimal tire for the condition. And there's Oliveira into the lead. We're going to want to watch that gap, because as soon as Sharp starts catching up, that's when we know it's time to get off of inters. Right now we're going to take advantage, and if we're going to pit an extra time, then we've got to be gaining distance, just as we're doing right now. Lipinen has gotten by Lundqvist at long last, and is now trying to chase down because he's further back and has more problems, but it's the same basic issue, and a lot of cars back there are not on wets. That's very interesting. Saying soaked now, we're still gaining time against Sharp. And now they're starting to talk about it. Boy, it's close. It's so close. Lipinen's further back. I'm going to have Lipinen pit now and Oliveira go around one more. And you know what? Go ahead and fry those tires since we're going to do that, Anna. We're going to want to push these tires as well, because we're not going to be on them that long. And Oliveira still putting distance. Well, it was putting distance. Holding at 3.3. Okay, now it's going down. So, yeah. I think that was the right call. Maybe a lap earlier for Oliveira, but I think that was the right call. Oh, I didn't put her in. I didn't... Oh, that's a mistake. I thought for sure I had her pit. Ugh. Yep, and now the gap's falling. We'll lose at least half a second by that mistake. Yeah, losing a lot more than that. Huge screw up there. May end the season for us. At least we're going to be in front of Saarinen. Come out 5th and 9th. Wexler's in 4th, Saarinen in 6th. We're only 6 points behind them. Even with that mess up. That mess up's going to cost us. There's still a chance we could win this. And Holtz now with a mechanical issue. Lippinen moves up to 8th. 16 to 20. Only 4 points behind. Could make something out of this yet. Halfway through the race. Boy, condition looking kind of dicey on Oliveira. We'll see. See if she makes it this way. We're pulling away from Saarinen, which is beautiful. It's soaked. We're on the right tires. Now you see there's that 2-lap section there where the roughly 2 laps where the water is about halfway. When we get to the end of that section, when it drops below, it starts getting into the damp territory, that's when we're going to need to go to dry tires. And Lippinen way behind Saarinen. Like the top 6 are way ahead. So Lippinen was pretty much going to be probably there. If we're going to get any more points, it's going to be out of Oliveira, who is behind Wexler but gaining. Like 5 seconds behind, but gaining. Boy, I mean, having Wexler only in 4th is really nice. Between Lippinen's wide turn and that pit stop screw up with Oliveira, that'd be right up there with Wexler right now if it wasn't for that. Got a few more laps of this. So let's see what kind of progress we can make. "19 laps to go in the race, and it won't be long before Oliveira has to back off that engine for the rest of the way for fuel reasons." Still gradually gaining on Wexler, but not by a lot. Under 4 seconds. And of course Lippinen is gradually grinding away at that lead, but it's really hard to see him doing anything. "18 laps to go." I think I had the right strategy. I really do. I think I just didn't execute it well enough. Or in Oliveira's case, really didn't execute it at all. Under 3 seconds. And Lippinen's picked up a couple seconds on Saarinen, so he hasn't mailed it in either. He's gradually drying out here. I think it's time to go attack and get some more out of these tires. Won't be long till we're changing. $16 laps to go. Boy, they're not heating up that fast. I would have possibly done this sooner. Okay, I think it's time soon. Yeah, let's go medium with Oliveira now. Time to burn the engines is used up. This may be our last lap on these wets. Oh, and everybody else going in now. Isn't that interesting? I think that's a mistake because there's still too much water on the track. And they're going ultras. Oliveira doesn't have any tire bonuses. Do I want to come in now? I don't think I do. We go around one more. Lipinen will come in now. 15 laps. Ultras might be the best for it. We're going to go super softs anyway. You've got the bonus on super softs. Do I want Oliveira though? Yeah, and Sharp's going to pass us. It's looking like maybe I should have come in. Sharp has a mechanical issue though, so that could cause problems. Go neutral. We're definitely going to pit. 19 to 21. Yeah, go ultras. See where that puts us in the pack. Oh, it's going to be warmer. No, don't go ultras. Go super softs. It's going to be warmer. You're not going to be able to push those tires very hard, and they're going to wear out fast. So I think I misjudged both pit stops. Well, I didn't misjudge the first one for Oliveira. I just brought her in too late. Okay, so Wexler and Sarn in 4th and 5th. We are in 6th and 7th. So that's an 8-point defeat. If it stays, which I don't think it does. And why on earth are you going that aggressively? Go neutral. So yeah, lessons learned in this race. I mean, I think this is another one. Like the last one we lost by a few points. This one we're going to lose by a few points. And these are ones we've got to win by a few points because we're not going to catch Wexler. But if I hadn't screwed up with Oliveira, she'd be ahead of Saarinen. No question. Now let's go conserve here because we're going to want to save those tires for later, when the other drivers are sick of being aggressive on theirs. Yeah, it's 20 degrees. I mean, you can make an argument softs would have been better. Of course, you got to know the weather ahead of time to make that kind of decision, because it's been cooler most of the day, and we had to go based on that. Saarinen pulling away now. And Zoe Sharp crashes. I actually don't think that helps us, because it just gives everybody more points. It's like Zoe Sharp's third crash of the season. Seriously. Actually, third crash of the half a season that we've done. Fifth and sixth. Yeah, they're just going to gain more points than we are by the moving up. Saarinen's burning his tires more. I might be able to get Oliveira by him at the end. That would extend that gap a bit. Boy, without that bad start by Lipponen and the pit screw-ups for Oliveira, I really think that we're at worst even with Scuderia Rossini this race. At worst. Let's go neutral here. Look at Oliveira's parts. I think she's going to make it just fine. So 4-second gap to Saarinen. 8 laps to go. And Oliveira driving well. Can she make it up? It's closing, but closing gradually. And now extending out again. So, I don't know if we're going to make that. How's Saarinen driving? Yeah, he's driving as well, 7.1, but he's also frying everything at the moment. There's over 5 laps to go, so I think we can afford to go high for a bit here. Might help put the pressure on. Gonzalez going wide. That's down below us in the standings. Wexler trying to track down Chapman. That would be really bad for us if that happened. I think I want to go conserve a bit more on the tires here. I think just for the rest of this lap. I'll try to switch it back to neutral the rest of the way. Four laps to go, so partway towards the end of this one, I'm going to have to switch back to neutral for Oliveira. It's about there. Now Saarinen pulling away again. Two laps to go, and we're just not going to catch him. He's got enough in the tank. Those drivers on the Ultras really hitting hard. But it looks like, I mean, if they were going to come in, it'd be here, and they're not. Chapman fading badly, and Wexler getting up to second. So this is even worse for us. Yeah. Chapman having some sort of problem there. Oliveira gets by. Yeah, lead's almost gone. Unless there's something horrific that happens in the penalties, I think I'm going to call the season again after this and have to give it a third try. Surikov with a rare win. And no penalties. Wexler takes over first place. Our lead is mostly gone. We've got a couple races coming up that really favor them because of the front wing issue. So yeah, I'm going to call it. Now, when I restart, I'm going to do a montage again up through this point, but I'm going to do it with a little bit more information. I'll show the starts of races, any sort of key points that come up. So I'm going to try to strike more of a balance and show a few more things on those races. But I'm going to be more aggressive with the weight stripping. It looks like our drivers can handle that, especially Oliveira. So I'm going to really work on that. I don't think Lipinen can, but Oliveira was fine on this one. I think the extra 5% there. I'm going to do a little bit of a different strategy at the beginning in terms of, like, we always win the Cape Town race. So I'm not going to do as much reliability boost for that, and I'm going to save it, like, working towards the second race parts to try to, maybe get that second and third race, get our performance a little bit better there. And then the third thing is I'm not going to build the staff center. I'm going to save the money. So if we have another shot, we've had 2 shots at it. If we have another shot at Dieter Wexler and can steal him away, big difference, and I think that wins us the challenge. So that's going to be the approach. Next time I'll be back with the restart, and hopefully this is going to be the last time I'll actually get through this. So that'll be coming up soon. Till then, thanks for watching, and hoping to get forward through this, get rid of the pro challenges, and move on. Next attempt will be soon.